The newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The provincial government of Oriental Mindoro has lifted the fishing ban in some areas affected by a massive oil spill. 69 days after the sunken MT Princess began leaking black oil, fishing can now resume in the towns of Bongabong, Rojas, Masalay, and Bulalakaw. Fishermen can also start venturing out to sea in Baco, San Teodoro, and Puerto Galera. Oriental Mindoro Governor Humerlito Dolor announced the lifting of the fishing ban after getting clearance from the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or BFAR. And the weekend was a gold rush for the Philippines at the Southeast Asian Games in Cambodia. Let's find out more from this report.
It was a golden weekend for Team Philippines. Just yesterday, 7 more gold medals were added in the country's haul. Twin golds were won by the Philippine men's and women's team in the relay obstacle course racing event. Sandy Abahan, Mecca Cortizano, Milky Tejares, and Marites Nokyao went to battle for the women's team, while Angie Radan, Elias Tabak, Mervin Guarte, and JR De Castro played for the gold for the men's team. Kim Mangrobang also caught the top prize in the women's individual duathlon, while Jamie Lim won the same in the 61-kilogram women's committee event of karate. This is Lim's second SEA Games gold in her career.
My family, they're always with me. Itong SEA Games last year sa Vietnam, I feel the support so much. So kahit ilan pa sila, mas malakas si mommy sumigaw and mas malakas yung support and love from her. So that's all that matters.
The country's 12th gold was plucked by the pair of Noel Manyalak and Princess Katindig for the women's individual doubles event of soft tennis. While the 13th one was courtesy of Jiu-Jitsu bet Mark Alexander Lim in the men's Newasa Nogi 69-kilogram tilt. Meanwhile, the Philippines' esports team Cebol exacted revenge on defending champion Vietnam in the gold medal match of the League of Legends Wild Rift event. This was payback for Cebol, who got swept by Vietnam in the last edition of the games in Hanoi.
Of course, I'm extremely happy and grateful at the same time. Kasi I think last year, after securing silver medal, feel ko may unfinished business pa ako sa SEA Games. After securing the gold medal right now, syempre, super happy. Kasi yun naman talaga yung goal ko eh.
For News 5, Marty Bautista, we are One News.
And here are some Moy Pinoys making us proud. 2 Filipino nurses were invited to the coronation of King Charles and Queen Camilla at the Westminster Abbey in London. UK-based nurses Charito Romano and Saiza Makutay Malak shared their unforgettable experience with One Balita Pilipinas. Both nurses said they were overjoyed and overwhelmed by the invitation to witness the historic event. Romano and Makutay Malak are both awardees of the prestigious British Empire Medal for their service to the community, worthy of recognition by the Crown.
We were very lucky na yung United Kingdom is embracing the diversity and culture of the Filipino. Hindi lang kami ni Saisha ang well appreciated dito sa UK. Maraming mga nurse na nagtatagumpay dito.
I really like working in care. Pareho kami ni Ate Charito. I think working with the elderly was my calling.
More stories coming your way after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Filipino doctors gave their 2 cents on the lifting of the COVID-19 global emergency by the World Health Organization. Infectious diseases expert Edsel Salvania sounded against complacency, noting that the announcement does not mean the pandemic is over. He added that the health department is now looking into the possibility of lifting COVID-19 restrictions in the Philippines. For her part, former Health Secretary Janet Garin welcomed this development, calling it timely. She urged the government to focus on free testing and to continue vaccinating the immunocompromised population. Meanwhile, Dr. Ronjean Solante says that the country should sustain efforts against COVID-19 despite the WHO declaring an end to the global health emergency. Dr. Solante stressed that there are still people dying from severe COVID-19. Solante also reiterated the importance of masking as well as surveillance and monitoring of cases. Time to take a quick look at today's other top stories. 11 more bills have been added to the priority measures under the Legislative Executive Development Advisory Council or LEDAC. The list, which includes the Maharlika Investment Fund Bill, has been approved by President Bongbong Marcos. The LEDAC is also prioritizing amendments to the Armed Forces Fixed Term Bill and the Universal Health Care Act and the bill to ease the paying of taxes. The number of jobless Filipinos went down slightly to 4.7% in March from 4.8% in February. This translates to 2.42 million Filipinos out of over 51 million that make up the labor force. Meralco Chairman Manny V. Pangilinan will be the next president and CEO of the power distributor. He will be replacing Ray Espinosa, who is set to retire later this month. Nevertheless, Espinosa will continue to be a vital part of the MVP Group as an advisor to its infra arm, the Metro Pacific Investments Corporation. And traditional Filipino values are at the core of the celebration for National Heritage Month this May. And one of them is the practice of pagmamano. Laila Pangilinan with the story.
The National Commission for Culture and the Arts will lead the National Heritage Month celebration this May. Their main goal? To strengthen people's consciousness, respect, and love for the legacies of Filipino cultural history. This year, they will be promoting the revival of one of the intangible Filipino heritage, the practice of the pagmamano, or paying respect to our elders by taking their hand and placing it in our foreheads. Just as bowing is a sign of respect among the Japanese, bless or pagmamano is uniquely Filipino.
Marami po kasing klase ng cultural heritage. Meron pong intangible cultural heritage. Yun po yung mga hindi natin nakikita pero napapractice po natin yon. Katulad po yan ng pagmamano. Kailangan po nating i-reintegrate or ipaalala po sa general public. Kasi po kung lahat po tayo, tumigil po tayo sa pagmamano, hindi na po maipaparating sa next generation yan.
However, experts cite the pandemic as a key factor to why pagmamano is becoming obsolete. That, along with social media.
Nag-online tayong lahat, nakakalimutan na natin yung mga kaugalian natin. Tulad halimbawa ng pagmano. Kasi nasanayan na natin mag-greet na lang ng kung paano nag-greet on TikTok, online. Ang mga challenges talaga para sa amin is yung pag-educate ng ating mga kabataan.
The NCCA says that they've also reached out to other national agencies, like the Commission on Higher Education and TESDA. Meanwhile, the Education Department is already working with the agency in reintroducing pagmamano. But aside from school, some parents believe that pagmamano should be taught primarily at home by elders, passing it on from generation to generation.
Kailangan may ganong gesture kasi talagang yun yung simbolo na nire-respeto nyo yung mga matatanda.
Proud din naman ako kasi na-experience ko rin naman yan. Lately lang din na yung friends ko nakikita ng mga anak ko sa kalsada, magchat-chat sa akin, Mami, nag-bless sa akin yung anak mo. Kaya yun, nakakatuwa.
The National Heritage Month kicked off in Rojas City, Capiz. As part of the celebration, the NCCA launched the commemorative stamp in collaboration with the National Historical Commission, PhilPost, and the Filipino Heritage Festival. The agency will be touring the country for the month-long activities, including a forum about Pinoy heritage and pagmamano. There will also be online activities, including a virtual tour of different tangible heritage sites of the country, starting off with the San Agustin Church Museum. For News 5, Laila Pangilinan, we are One News.
One News Now will be back at 5:30 p.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.